G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So, basically, as it stands right now, the 3-foot tank is pretty much empty. Basically what I want to do today is clean it all out and get it ready to fill back up. I might fill it back up today, but it won't be getting fish in it for a few days. I'm going to fill it back up and just with tap water and let it age for a couple of days, and then get stuck into putting a fish or 2 fish back in there and see what happens. It seems a couple of other fish that I sold got white spot, but talking to Paul at Morley Aquariums, he's saying there's not much I can do about it because the fish that I sold that got white spot in the other people's tanks, the colonies they came from don't have white spot, and basically the way he explained it to me is fish generally always carry it in their system, they just don't, it doesn't develop. So because my room is temperature controlled, it never ever changes temperature. As soon as they leave this place and they fluctuate in temperature a little bit, Paul said 4 degrees was his exact term. That's how they're getting white spot. So I don't know, it kind of makes sense because the fish that I moved from the ray pond sits on like 25 degrees. The tank that I moved it to is 29 degrees. That's 4 degrees change, which is exactly the amount that Paul said that is generally a kickstart for white spot. So I don't know where to take it from here. I'm thinking about going back to using buffers maybe. I don't know, because if I start buffering the water, the higher GH, the white spot has no chance of surviving. So I think I'm just going to have to, the next couple of times I sell fish, play it by ear, keep close contact with the buyer. I really don't feel confident selling fish at the moment because of all this, and I'm scared about my own fish because of all this. But anyway, let's clean this tank and we'll get some fish in it in the next couple of days. Alright, so pretty much step 1 is take everything out, get all the filter media out of it. Obviously trying not to drip any of this water on any other tank. I don't want to contaminate the tank underneath. I can't believe the tank underneath, like directly below, hasn't been contaminated with the white spot because it's just so close. It's good news, but I think I've done really well at containing it. As much as it seems like a huge disaster, I've got 40 fish tanks. I've had 2 tanks with white spot and contained it to 2 tanks. So silver lining, guys, it's not all negative. We lost, but we won in that aspect. So I'm pretty much just going to turn the hose on now. Obviously there was bleach in there, so we're just going to turn the hose on and back until it's spotless, and then whatever water's left in it after the vac can just be it filling up, if that makes sense. so now pretty much I'm going to put all the filters back in. I'm going to set the filtration up exactly how it was before. There's no reason to change it. Oh, that doesn't look like the right piece. Alright, now I'm a bit confused. One of these is different. Here's me thinking I had 4 identical sponge filters, but 3 have had the air stone mod. If you guys haven't seen that, I don't think I've done a video on it actually, but basically put an air stone in them, it makes them quieter. That's actually not the reason that I modified them. I modified them for a little project that I had, but if you do want quiet sponge filters like in your bedroom, put a stone in them and they're way quieter. Alright, so you guys can't see that well because of the condensation. Whenever you fill up a tank in a fish room with tap water, because you're putting cold water and it's a warm room, you always get massive amounts of condensation. It's just a given. It's frustrating sometimes, but it's only really frustrating because I'm trying to make a YouTube video. Now I'm just going to clean the 2 matten filters, but I don't know how because they don't fit in that bucket. I'll get back to you. Alright, so straight up, hosing them on the floor seems like the best idea. Doesn't really look like there's actually much stuff coming out of them. That I can see anyway. Basically this has all been bleached anyway, so it should be pretty clean. We just need to get the debris out of it. That'll do for now. Basically, get them back in the tank. You'll be able to tell straight away how clean they are, because when these are dirty, they make a mess in the tank. The only downfall with this filter setup is the fact that when you clean them, they absolutely make a mess of the tank. Imagine like you guys have cleaned a sponge filter before. Imagine cleaning a sponge filter times 5. That's how much of a mess they make. And then just put this one back in this side. So I haven't decided, guys. I haven't decided if I'm going to use cycled sponges and put them in here, or whether I'm just going to let this tank recycle by itself. I'm on the fence. I'm happy to hear what your opinion is on the subject. Obviously, if I cycle it with the flower horns, like a couple of flower horns in there, it's risky. But also, if I use seeded media in it, it's also a risk. I don't know. I'm really on the fence on that one, guys. I don't know whether to use cycled media in it, and I'm sure most of you fully understand why I'm on the fence with that subject. But at least the tank's back together now. The dividers aren't in. They're going to need a bit of a clean too. Well, they shouldn't really need too much of a clean. The tank was actually quite clean when it crashed, or when it got white spot, because if you guys remember, it was only a couple of weeks ago I did a big clean out in here. But anyway, the tank's back up and running, that's the main thing. What doesn't break the room only makes it stronger. What less diseases teach us lessons. I've learnt a huge lesson here, and I actually learnt something about salinity today. I've always just thrown a handful in. I threw a couple of handfuls in the other day, but basically I should have been running about 2 cups per 200 litres or something, and that's probably about 10 times what I actually put in there. Oh, the Nivochromis are fighting. But anyway, so that's literally, so even if salt does work for white spot, my dosage was way under what they recommend to use. So I stuffed up maybe. I definitely stand by what I say about not having disease causes inexperience, which is what I have. I'm inexperienced in white spot. I guess less so now, maybe if I get it again. Things might change. I hope so anyway. But anyway guys, if you like this video, give a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit the little red button down there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.